for joining us on Vox Africa for this special focus. Today we are speaking finance, more precisely banking. Vista Bank Group expands its trade finance services in West Africa by acquiring BNP Paribas subsidiaries in Guinea and Burkina Faso. Our special guest is Simon Tiemtore, president of Vista Bank Group. I am Sora Yago. Stay tuned on Vox Africa for more.
How does the takeover of BNP Paribas majority shares in the capital of the International Bank for Trade and Industry of Guinea, namely BICIGUI, have a strategic interest for Vista Bank in the region?
Yeah, it is strategic and it's key. It was key to our growth. It's key for, it was fundamental for us. You grow two ways, either organically or you grow through acquisition. And you're well aware that, in the continent today, a number of states are now signing up to the Africa Free Trade Area. And we currently operate in the WAMZ, in Guinea, Gambia, and Sierra Leone. The acquisition of BICIAB would enable us to enter the WAEMU region, which is one of the fastest growing regions in Africa. So it was fundamental for us to give ourselves the muscle and the resources that we need to essentially promote intra-Africa trade and prepare ourselves to contribute as a financial institution into the Africa Free Trade, Continental Free Trade Area agreement, which will be rolled out pretty soon. And so we needed the scale. And so we saw as a fantastic opportunity for us, a strategic opportunity for us to acquire the BNP asset to essentially give us the leverage that we need to achieve our objective, which is to promote intra-Africa trade.
Now that you're saying that it's a strategic point for you to be able to scale, in terms of customers' portfolio, what does the acquisitions of the international banks for trade and industry in both Burkina and Guinea brings you in terms of intra-African trade?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're right now positioned 4th or 5th in Guinea, depending on the metrics that you look at. And the acquisition of BNP, of BCG, will enable us to be the #1 bank in the country. By far, we'll have the largest bank by network in the country with 48 branches. And then the acquisition in Burkina Faso clearly will give us this strategic point of entry into the WAEMU region and enable us to acquire a different set of customers. BNP strategy has been focused on high net worth and large corporates. We've been focused on SMEs, and I think the combination of the two will enable us to have a broader coverage of the economy to support the country where we operate and promote financial inclusion.
Oh, you've spoken about SMEs. Let's look into the benefit for the consumers. What would the advantage of BCIB and BCG customers of migrating to Vista's main banking system after these acquisitions?
Yeah, I mean, the existing customers will see, obviously, on the corporate side and high net worth individual side, will have access to a larger resources to do business in the country where we operate. And on the retail side, the clients will have access to innovative product. I mean, what Vista is all about is we position ourselves as a challenger bank. We invest a lot more into technology and into mobile banking and becoming digital. Our strategy is digital first, mobile first. So, and the goal is to put the bank in the palm of the user, of the consumer. And so they will benefit from innovative digital products that will put the banks in their hand and thereby promoting financial inclusion. And you will see, I mean, one of the things that we have constantly done in the past, which we'll continue to do, is to support our country, support the states, support the government, support the parastatal, support the private sector by structuring transaction, by providing them the resources that they need to essentially contribute to the economy.
Sounds interesting. Among the main development axes of Vista Bank in West Africa is digital, right? And we know that GSMA tackles the world's most pressing challenges by bringing together the public and private sectors to transform lives through access to mobile innovation. How to justify such a strategy when, according to GSMA, mobile penetration is only about 48% and internet penetration of 26% in the region. At the same time, the most optimistic forecast for the arrival of 5G in West Africa, at least in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is you do not need to retool the whole infrastructure to be able to provide mobile banking or be a digital first, have a digital first strategy. I mean, today, if you look at smartphone penetration, it's about 48%. And it's estimated that they will grow to 65% in 2025. And in terms of mobile internet users, it's estimated at about 270 million, and which will grow at 475 million in 2025. You also have a dividend demographic in Africa, which is one of the assets that we have in the continent, and a huge demand by the youth for digital products. And so all of which essentially created the opportunity and the landscape for digital first bank like Vista Bank to essentially provide innovative products and to our user base and our clients. So there are exciting projects coming up along the way in the countries where we operate, and hopefully pretty soon also in Burkina Faso. And people will see that dramatic change in the market in terms of offering from a product standpoint.
Thank you, Simon. But with the banking access in the WAEMU zone of only 18%, according to the BCAO in 2018, Vista Bank will have to face major challenge. What will Vista Bank's strategy be in this context?
Yeah, I think the level of the bankarization is very low. That's true, 18%. But it also represents a massive opportunity. It means there's room for growth, and that room for, on the base of that, it will enable us to essentially, establish ourselves in the market and try to hopefully grow that low base to a higher digit, 20, 30%. That's the goal. We want to help, promote financial inclusion. And the way we do so is essentially through our mobile first strategy and providing digital services to our client base. So imagine if you can open a bank account anywhere where you are in Burkina Faso. You can open a bank account anywhere you are in Guinea, in Sierra Leone, in Gambia, because we're using, technology that enable you to open an account by using face recognition and identification, and passing some of the level of KYC to at least have access to be able to open a bank account. The deployment of smart ATM, which is, a new way of doing digital agency banking. So there's a number of products that we're rolling out in the countries where we are, and also in the countries where we're going to, which will promote financial inclusion and hopefully increase the level of bankarization in the continent.
You're talking about increasing the level of bankarization, but we know that at the same time, the share of the informal economy in West Africa fluctuates between 80 and 90%, depending on the country. This implies that most of the activity is based on SMEs, or even I could call them micro businesses, whose promoters do not always meet the traditional requirements to benefit from loans. How does Vista intend to adapt to this reality in these markets?
Yes, I mean, you rightly put it out there. The SMEs are the backbone of our economy. And we are currently supporting SMEs. Our main business today in Guinea, Gambia, and Sierra Leone are SMEs. So we learn a lot from them, and we learn a lot from the strategy for dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. One, that's something that we can take on and bring into Burkina Faso as well. So through our digital product, I think we'll be able to, service those SMEs. But one of the critical things that the SME face is lack of access to finance. And for many reasons, sometimes being perceived as being too risky. And I think what we have tried to do, and we keep doing, is to better understand the needs of those SME, understand their business, understand the risk that goes along with their business, structure around those risks to mitigate the risk and enable them to have access to the financing that they need, maybe on a revolving basis, and so we can support them. We've also working with a number of institutional partners such as the IFC that enable us to better understand the sector, to de-risk it, and be able to provide them with the financing that they need to do business in the country where we operate. And that's how we are contributing to the economy. And then we hope to do so as well in Burkina Faso.
Thank you, Simon. You mentioned that Vista now operates in Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, which is seen as a strategic point of entry into the WAEMU market. So you now operate in 4 countries. And in recent months, it has been observed that you have launched a real commercial offensive in West Africa. What about other African regions, particularly Central Africa or East Africa?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the entire continent. I mean, we have said a number of years ago that we wanted to be in 15 countries by 2025. Our growth were to be measured and essentially try to take advantage of the economic zone. Right now, we currently operate in the WAMZ, the West Africa Monetary Zone in Guinea, Gambia, and Sierra Leone. And with the acquisition in Burkina Faso, we will be in the WAEMU region, which is one of the fastest growing regions in the continent. And obviously, we have our sight on the Central Africa market, the CEMAC market, which is also very strategic for us. And I mean, all of those countries are part of the continent, the African Continental Free Trade Area agreement that's coming out will be rolled out. So we're essentially looking to position ourselves to promote intra-Africa trade in the WAMZ, with WAEMU, and the CEMAC region. Obviously, strategically for now, we're staying out of East Africa, but who knows? You know, in the foreseeable future, maybe we'll look into East Africa. But primarily, we want to stay focused, and we want to stay focused on the WAMZ. We want to stay focused on the WAEMU region, and we want to stay focused on the CEMAC region.
Can you name any country for your next move?
It's very premature right now to say which country it would be, but as soon as it's official, we'll let you guys know, and we'll gladly talk more about it.
What do you see as a key point for Africa to develop?
Oh yeah, I mean it's trading more with ourselves. I think we need to trust ourselves, trade more with ourselves, support our businesses. First of all, support our SMEs, support our corporate, support our state, and more importantly, trade with ourselves. If Africa trade with itself, then Africa will be well positioned. Also investing in critical areas such as agriculture. I think the president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adesina, doesn't stop talking about, how we need to transform, go from make agriculture a business, agro-processing a business. My good friend, Dr. Orama, the president of Afrikzim Bank, talk about promoting intra-Africa trade. The Afrikzim Bank, for instance, is creating a specific department just to promote intra-Africa trade. So it is fundamental. If we start, everything is produced in Africa. If we start consuming what we produce, if we start trading with ourselves, I think we will be self-sustainable and also, contribute, in a value chain in a continent to enable us to grow. That's the key in my view. And with the African Continental Free Trade Area, we will have the tools and the opportunity to do so. But nonetheless, I think we can begin to trade with ourselves. We can begin to do business with ourselves, and that's why Vista is looking to expand in a region, essentially to be a key factor, a contributor to the growth of Africa.
Thank you, Simon. You mentioned your ex-employer, Afrikzim Bank. What was their inputs into your ventures and into your business?
Afrikzim Bank has been a strategic partner of Vista from day one, from the onset. And it's an opportunity for me also to thank the leadership of Afrikzim Bank for everything that they've done by advising us, helping us structure our transaction, and enable us to pursue our objective of promoting intra-Africa trade through this expansion. So they're the leader in trade. They're the leader in trading in Africa, and they've been a strategic partner of ours. And we continue. We'll keep working with them. We are essentially one of the trade finance intermediaries in the countries where we operate, and that partnership enabled us also to leverage the tools and the resources and the product that Afrikzim has in place to essentially support Africans, government, and private sectors to do business and to trade among countries.
Sounds like it's always good to have good contact with any ex-employers.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always good to be to have a strategic partner like Afrikzim Bank by your side. So is the African Development Bank, and the IFC, the International Financial Corporation, the US DFI, which is called the DFC, Development Finance Corporation. I think we're very fortunate to have a number of financial institutions, strategic partner that work with us, that help us try to grow, that help us try to promote financial inclusion, help us try to expand our offering in Africa. My final message is for us to trust each other as Africans to do business. I think it's key, it's fundamental that we have the tools and we have the people, we have the human capital, we have the resources to essentially do business with ourselves. And so long as we promote trade within Africa, by Africans, with Africans, or any other third party, I think that will create the environment for growth in the continent. And we're very fortunate to be part of it through our activities and financial services. But I do believe that we have all the tools and all the resources. We have the dividend demographic. We need to support our youth. We need to support the young entrepreneurs. We need to support those that have ideas to essentially enable us to trade. I mean, they're creators of new jobs. And so long as we can provide them with the support that's required, I think Africa will be in a good place.
Thank you, Mr. Tiemtore, President of Vista Bank Group, Africa.
Thank you very much.
United.
Thank you.